You talked about Big Mike McCarthy, but he also mentioned their coach Eberflus. I guess it's getting loud up there.
Yeah.
It's getting loud up there in Chicago. I don't know what expectations were coming in with a rookie quarterback. Obviously, we got a good team. We built this up. We didn't earn the number 1 overall pick. We traded for it last year with the Carolina Panthers. We're looking to have success. The way it's going, though, it feels like Bears fans are loud about, is this the right guy for Caleb Williams and everything that's happening up there? Are you hearing that, or is he safe? Great haircut, good beard.
Always.
Good beard. Would have beat Washington if it wasn't for,
Yeah.
Hail Mary. And then it hails yesterday in Arizona.
Listen, they're not.
A lot of hail
They're not winning consistently enough for these questions not to come up. They are now 0-18 in Sunday road afternoon games during Matt's 0-18.
Are they staying in terrible hotels, or what's going on? Bad.
Well, the good part is they don't play again on the road on a Sunday until the first week in December.
That is good.
So they got a stretch of home games, and they got Thanksgiving Day against Detroit, right?
Ooh.
So they're not going to lose any more Sunday afternoon games on the road for another month. But anytime you're not winning consistently, anytime you're allowing a Hail Mary to happen, anytime you're making some of those mistakes, there's going to be talk about the coaches. I was curious to see, try to never read comments, but some of the comments around Dennis Allen and people like wondering, okay, when is it happening in Chicago too? A lot of that stuff, a lot of commentary.
Oh yeah,
about that.
They got real loud in Chicago. That 0-18 stat is obviously an alarming one. And you heard Ty go, ugh, for the Thanksgiving game, because the whole world's watching that one.
Bingo.
So you're playing against this Lions team that is a buzzsaw by literally every statistic. Yep. They are dominating teams. So now you're doing it on Thanksgiving Day with the whole world watching. It's like, that's when it gets very, so loud. But you beat the Lions on Thanksgiving Day. All of a sudden, maybe Eberflus is the guy.
Yeah.
Because remember the end of last year, Eberflus's culture starting to settle in. Here we go. We're about to get the number 1 overall pick. We're going to roll. It's such if you lose, they should have beat the Commanders.
Yes, for sure.
They should have beat the Commanders. Are we even having this discussion if they get that win? No. But obviously, Tyreek Stevenson celebrating with the fans. Bats it to Cuz, takes himself out of practice. It's like now the culture's getting questioned, coaching's getting questioned. DJ Moore comes out on an interview and doesn't say an answer perfectly. So they're like, this guy, he's lost the locker. It's it's amazing how quick everything can and you just need a win.
Hey, allowed that long run before the end of the half yesterday. DeMarcado, the Cardinals running back, that was the longest run
just to give up
before halftime in NFL history or some crazy stat like that. Here's the run with that much time left. So in one week, you give up a Hail Mary. The next week, you give up that run as the half is running out. On 3rd and 5, a little handoff to DeMarcado takes it to the house.
Yeah.
That was a give-up play.
Those are not good plays.
Especially with a defensive minded head coach. You got a young, dynamic quarterback. Those conversations get a lot louder, a lot quicker if you're not, this offensive savant.
Especially if Ben Johnson's there.
Yeah.
Slow it down if Houston's available.
Apparently Ben Johnson was interested in the Bears. I don't know where that was reported from.
I saw it too. I don't know if it was real though.
No, it was definitely
just
reported.
came out of my mouth.
Yeah, it was definitely reported.
Albert Breer reported it. Okay, good. I didn't know if it was a McCockner situation.
No, I knew it was.
That was what your face was saying after that got out of your mouth. I don't know who reported that, if that's real or not. But all those offensive gurus out there with the defensive failures, with a defensive head coach, and then also how it's all, that it all starts coming quick. Let's go to the next overreaction, shall we? This is from F Bart 131. Fucking F Bart. This guy loves ball. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but season's fucking over. Fire Eberflus, fire Waldron, cut Stevenson, and start the fuck over for the millionth time. Hire Ben Johnson and find some O-lineman that can actually block someone. Fuck, says F Bart. Zito, is this how everybody feels up in Chicago? Are you guys all F-Barting around up there?
Yeah, unfortunately it is. There are a lot of pitchforks going to Hell's Hall today.
Oh, jeez. Get this guy out of here. His cool hair, great beard. Guy can't coach shit.
I will say, though, Stevenson did have prevented 2 touchdowns, too.
Mm-hmm. Hey, way to bounce back, Stevenson.
Boy.
Took himself out of practice allegedly last week. Still showed up to play. That's good mental toughness, knowing that you just got embarrassed in front of the whole world. Mm-hmm. Happy he's back on track. But to be clear, I'm not 100% sure what the Bears should do. No idea. You fire, you get a new offense in there for Caleb. That's the second offense in 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Third offense in 3 years if you go back to college in this entire thing. So that's obviously starting a roller coaster or a carnival ride.
We've done that to 3 quarterbacks before as well.
Yeah. So, but
crazy.
do you want to have patience with something that isn't good either? So it's like, that's a tough spot.
And like players have talked about, Waldron before as far as offensive play calling goes. Like there's that Jackson Smith and Jigba clip from the Super Bowl this past year. And so like who knows?
Hey, what are your thoughts on Shane Waldron's office? Are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Everyone's saying Ben Johnson, but what about Cliff? Like you already had him, right? So like,
Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach?
yeah.
Oh, because he had
We
Caleb.
coached
is what you're
Caleb,
saying.
USC, right?
So you're not really changing the playbook much because it's
Cliff
kind
wanna-
of similar.
Yeah,
right?
he was miserable at the end of his time in Arizona. He might be pretty happy just being the OC.
Yeah, depending upon what the money is going to be. In Chicago, what? Not allowed to swear, not allowed to, right? And there are a lot of.
pretty buttoned up.
I think Arizona was similar, right? When like can't do this, can't do that.
I'm sure Cliff would be open to it. I'm sure Cliff's open to another head coaching gig.
In the offense.
You think so?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Because there's only 32 of them, especially Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears are a storied franchise.
They're all in.
Most
Man.
all coaches want to be head coaches.
Yeah,
You know
what if
that.
you love your life as the OC?
Jaden Daniels.
What if you, and Dan Quinn's awesome, backwards hat,
Yeah.
vibes great.
Go
What
on
they say, like with
vacation.
how much coordinators are making now too. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, if you're going to be making 15 to 17 million a year, it might be hard to. But like if you're making
5.
8, yeah, 5
7.
to
5 to 10 million, and you don't
Right.
have to deal with any of the shit.
Exactly, and you got a guy who has already proven, like, yeah, he's a fucking guy.
And already paid.
Yeah,
Like Cliff's already been paid as a head coach.
exactly.
So,
He wanted to be head
Yeah.
coach.
I mean, he can sit and wait for the right opportunity for sure.
yeah, and we say all this, and then inevitably, if somebody gets offered a job, they're like, there's only 32 of those, I'm going to take
Yeah,
it.
like how you going to turn a head coaching gig down?
Also,
I think you could if you, like the Saints, people are saying like
can.
the Saints job. Like, now,
Well,
if
yeah,
you're-
if you have a bunch of options, if you're a coach that is in high demand and you have multiple different options, I don't think you're picking the Saints right away.
Yeah, but it feels like the conversation about it is very similar to how the NIL is affecting like kids going into the draft, where like assistant coaches are getting paid very well now. So it used to be like, what's the check the head coach is getting? I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
And that is why. And now, granted, the power and running your own building and everything like that is obviously something, and having a vision of what your team should be. But now it's like with these new owners, especially at the Commanders, brand new owners, and there's no salary cap for how much you pay assistant coaches. I'd be excited to see what happens if Cliff Kingsbury tells them like, hey, I've been offered this head coach job. You bump this up to what, like allegedly what happened with Coach Arians.
Yep.
Allegedly what happened with Coach Bruce Arians, he got offered a head coaching job, just said, hey, at Indianapolis, he was OC, interim head coach. Obviously, we all remember that year. He's Bruce Arians. He's been around a long time. If you bump my pay to this, it's like, I'll just stay here and be OC. Allegedly, that was met with an interesting answer, and then all of a sudden, boom, now he's head coach. But that was with Andrew Luck. That was with like, he didn't want to deal with all the shit. He had just been, so, I mean, maybe we are in a time where people pick and choose and decide what they want to do, but Cliff Kingsbury's a dog. We know that, and he's winning and having great success right now.
He also signed with Washington because they offered him one more year than Vegas.
But you also talk about like being able to kind of pick and choose. Like the Bears, good, bad, or indifferent, like they have unrealistic expectations there. Like you look at the Lions in that division, the Packers and the Vikings right now. Like they drafted Caleb and still had a bunch of holes, and people were like, well, this team should make the playoffs this year based on how well they played at the end of last year. And you look at the track record of what they've done with the previous head coaches, it's basically like, hey, if you don't win or don't make the playoffs in 2 to 3 years, like you're going to get fired. So is it like, do you want to just start that whole fucking carousel over again when, like you said, you're an OC in Washington, and look how good things are for him right now, probably.
Good luck, Chicago. You'll figure it out.
Good luck.
Always
It's only
do.
32 jobs. He'll want, and then with him, how young he is, he goes. Let's say he goes to Chicago and it doesn't work out. He knows the quarterback already. I think that's a big part of it too. But you go there and it doesn't work out, it'd be an offensive coordinator again. You go there for 2 years, they think, oh, we know what Cliff does with. We saw what he did with Jaden. We saw what he did here, so he'll get another shot. I think he'll take it if that opportunity presents itself.